Hi, students. I'm going to go over the research essay body paragraph structure in this video. So what this document has is the body paragraph structure on the first 2 pages of the document. Um, we will get into the introduction and conclusion in another video. So at the top of this document, it lists the different parts of the body paragraph that you will need to have in your body paragraphs. So we're using the Lord of the Flies example throughout this model. You, of course, will be applying your information that you have for the Great Gatsby. All right, so first thing you want to do is you want to start with your topic sentence. So if you remember, you have 3 topics within your thesis or your claim statement. And so you want to focus on the first one that is listed in your claim. You want to keep your body paragraphs in the order that you have listed the topics. So for this example, we're going to talk about the symbolism, where Lord of the Flies should be read because it explores abstract ideas through symbolism. So you're going to take that idea and you're going to create a topic sentence. High school students should read Lord of the Flies because the novel explores abstract ideas through symbolism. So we can use the exact wording from the claim statement. All right, then you want to introduce an example from the novel. So here are the directions for that. You should have 2 sentences to introduce your example. It should have a transition sentence that connects the topic to a quoted example from the novel, and a sentence that sets up the example by stating who is speaking, who is in the scene, and what is the speaker's purpose or what is happening in the scene. So that's what we've talked about all year. That is the context of the quote. So here's an example of how the novel explores ideas through symbolism. So here is the quote that I selected from Lord of the Flies. How can you expect to be rescued if you don't put first things first and act proper? He took off his glasses and made as if to put down the conch. If you remember, that was the quote I had in my planning document. So you want to use that planning document, your outline document that you created, in order to find those examples or use those examples from the outline document. All right, so we've got that. And then here are the transition sentences that set up the quote. In the novel, Piggy's glasses symbolize the abstract idea of intelligence. While wearing his glasses, Piggy, that's the who, scolds the other boys for acting recklessly, that's the what, saying, and then you have the quote. After the quote, we always want to have 2 to 3 sentences of explanation that include a sentence that summarizes the example in your own words, and a sentence or 2 that states how the example supports the topic. So, as you can see, the numbers here correspond to those types of sentences that are in the directions. So, the summary of the example in your own words. He asks the boys a logical question to make them behave more productively. And the 2 ways that this supports the supports the topic. As Piggy poses this question, he is wearing his glasses, which symbolize intelligence. With the glasses on, he not only thinks logically about their situation, but also tells them to prioritize, which is a wise alternative to reckless behavior. All right, next part of the paragraph, we want to focus on the example from the article, the literary criticism articles that you used. So you want to have 2 sentences here that includes a transition sentence that connects the topic to a quoted example from an article, and a sentence that sets up the example by stating who is speaking and what is the speaker's purpose. So here's an example of how the article explores ideas through symbolism. Piggy's glasses functioning similarly as the conch, are a symbol of reason, fittingly worn by the thinker of the group. The breaking and losing of the glasses indicates symbolically the breakdown of visionary reason. And that is a quote from the Bufkin article. So you would have a quote from your article that you found that uses that idea. Here is how you could write the transition sentence and sentence that sets up the quote. So again, they're labeled as 1 and 2, which relate to the 1 and 2 up here in the directions. All right, so the connection of the topic to the quote example in Lord of the Flies and analysis, F.C. Bufkin echoes the notion that Piggy's glasses represent intelligent thought. And then the sentences that set up the example by saying who and what, who is speaking and what is the speaker's purpose. Bufkin argues the reasoning comes and goes with the glasses, stating Piggy's glasses, functioning similarly as the conch, are a symbol of reason, fittingly worn by the thinker of the group. The breaking and losing of the glasses indicates symbolically the breakdown of visionary reason. Next part would be explanation sentences, 2 to 3 sentences that include a sentence that summarizes the example in your own words, and a sentence or two that states how the example supports the topic. And again, we have the one and 2, the 1 and 2s that are corresponding to the directions here. Here's how you could write the explanation sentences. The glasses represent logical reasoning and the subsequent loss of it. Bufkin highlights the fact that Piggy, the thinker of the group, wears them. However, he loses his ability to reason with the boys when one of the lenses breaks and the other disappears. Finally, you want a closing sentence, a sentence that restates the topic's ends but uses different wording. So, due to its use of symbolism to explore an abstract idea such as intelligence, Lord of the Flies should be read in high school. All right, so here is the body paragraph with all 6 components combined. So this is how your paragraph should look if you follow each one of those steps above. High school students should read Lord of the Flies because the novel explores abstract ideas through symbolism. In the novel, Piggy's glasses symbolize the abstract idea of intelligence. While wearing his glasses, Piggy scolds the other boys for acting recklessly, saying, "How can you expect to be rescued if you don't put first things first and act proper?" He asks the boys a logical question to make them behave more productively. As Piggy poses this question, he is wearing his glasses, which symbolize intelligence. With the glasses on, he not only thinks logically about their situation, but also tells them to prioritize, which is a wise alternative to reckless behavior. In Lord of the Flies, an analysis, F.C. Bufkin echoes the notion that Piggy's glasses represent intelligent thought. Bufkin argues that reasoning comes and goes with the glasses, stating, Piggy's glasses, functioning similarly as the conch, are a symbol of reason, fittingly worn by the thinker of the group. The breaking and losing of the glasses indicates symbolically the breakdown of visionary reason. The glasses represent logical reasoning and the subsequent loss of it. Bufkin highlights the fact that Piggy, the thinker of the group, wears them. However, he loses his ability to reason with the boys when one of the lenses breaks and the other disappears. Due to its use of symbolism to explore an abstract idea such as intelligence, Lord of the Flies should be read in high school. So that's the entire paragraph put together using all the steps above. Notice the quotes are embedded. They're not just floating, which means that they're all by themselves. They're embedded, so they're using your words plus the words of the quote to create a sentence, and they're properly set up. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions as you type your body paragraphs.